Unique Kids.
Long ago, in a land filled with golden deserts, mighty palaces, and starry skies, there lived a young king named Solomon. He had just become ruler of a great kingdom. People bowed to him, and he wore a crown of gold. But Solomon wanted to be a great king. And when the chance came to ask for something, he didn't ask for treasure, or strength to defeat enemies, or even a long life. No. He asked for something far greater. Today, children, will discover why Solomon became known as the wisest king who ever lived. Also, we will learn how you can be wise too. Are you ready? Let's go. Solomon had just taken the throne after his father, King David. He was young, younger than most kings. He didn't have all the answers. But Solomon did something very important. He went to Gibeon, a holy place, and prayed to God.
O Lord my God, you've made me king after my father David, but I am only a child. I don't know how to lead. Please give me a wise and understanding heart, so I can rule your people well.
Solomon, because you have not asked for riches, or the death of your enemies, or long life for yourself, but instead asked for wisdom. I will give you a wise heart like no one before or after you. And I will give you riches and honor too.
Can you imagine that? God was so pleased with Solomon's request. Out of all the things in the world, Solomon asked for wisdom. Now, think about it, boys and girls. If God came to you in a dream tonight and said, "Ask for anything," what would you say?
Maybe a tower of Kenny, or flying by, or to never do homework again.
But what about wisdom, my child?
Yes, I want to be wise to make good choices. That would help me more than candy.
Wisdom, dear children, is the ability to choose what is right, even when it's hard. It's not about being the smartest in class or always having the answer. It's about listening, understanding, and choosing kindness, even when you're upset. Now look, in a playground, two kids are playing. And later, that began fighting over a toy. What's going to happen now since both want the toy?
You can have it. Let's play together instead.
That's wisdom. Peace is better than being right. Look at this, kids. A girl knocks over a vase and starts to lie. But she stops, takes a deep breath, and tells the truth to her mom. That's wisdom, honesty, even when it's scary. A boy is asked to laugh at another kid but says, "No. That's not kind." That's wisdom, standing up for others. See? You don't have to be a king to be wise. Every day gives you little chances to choose what's right. Just like Solomon, you can talk to God and say, "Please help me make good choices today." And that's how Solomon's story of wisdom began, with a prayer. And a heart that chose to do right. The sun rose over the golden palace in Jerusalem. Birds chirped in the gardens, and servants hurried through stone halls. But deep inside the palace, something serious was about to happen. These women had come to the king with a heavy problem. One of them stepped forward, tears in her eyes. Her voice shook as she spoke.
"My lord, we lived in the same house. We both had baby boys, just a few days apart. But one night, while we slept, her baby died. In the morning, I found my baby was gone. She had taken him and placed her dead child beside me. But this baby, this one, is mine.
The second woman quickly stepped forward. Her eyes flashed with anger.
No, that's not true. The living child is mine. Hers is the one who died.
The room went silent. The guards shifted uncomfortably. Servants stopped to listen. Everyone wondered, how could the king possibly know the truth? There were no cameras, no photos, no witnesses. Just two hurting mothers, and one baby. Solomon sat on his throne. He watched the women carefully. He didn't rush. He didn't yell. He was thinking. Then he stood up slowly and gave an order that shocked everyone.
Bring me a sword.
The guards looked at each other, confused. But they obeyed. A soldier stepped forward and placed a sharp sword in Solomon's hands.
Cut the baby in two. Give half to each mother.
Gasps filled the hall. The guards froze. The women stared at him, stunned. Then something happened. The first mother dropped to her knees. Her hands shook.
No. Please, don't hurt him. Give her the baby. Let him live.
But the second mother stood still. Her voice was cold.
Yes, divide him. That way, neither of us will have him.
Solomon raised his hand. His voice was calm and clear.
Do not harm the child. Give the baby to the first woman. She is his true mother.
The baby cried softly as the guards stepped back. The first mother scooped him up, tears pouring down her cheeks. She hugged him tightly, her heart full of joy. And just like that, the truth was known, not through fighting, but through wisdom. The people in the court murmured with amazement. Word of the king's wise judgment spread like fire across the land. People in every village and town whispered in awe. He is wise, truly wise, they said. God has given our king a special gift. Children, did you see what just happened? Solomon didn't solve the problem by shouting or choosing sides. He used wisdom, God's wisdom. He watched. He listened. He paid attention to the heart. Wisdom isn't about having the biggest brain or knowing the most facts. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, even when it's hard. It means choosing kindness over anger, truth over lies, patience over yelling, love over pride. Now imagine this. You broke your mom's favorite bowl by accident. You feel scared. Should you lie and pretend your little brother did it? Or you're playing with your toys when your sister wants to join. You're feeling grumpy. Should you say, go away, or let her play too? Or maybe your friend at school is being made fun of. You don't want to get involved. But something in your heart tells you it's not right to stay silent. These are the moments where you can be wise, just like Solomon. Being wise doesn't mean you never make mistakes. It means you try to do what's right, and when you don't know what to do, you ask for help. That's what Solomon did. He asked God for a wise and understanding heart. And God gave it to him. And guess what? You can ask God for the same thing. Every time you feel unsure, you can whisper a little prayer in your heart. God, help me be wise. Help me choose what's right. Sometimes, being wise means walking away from an argument. Sometimes, it means saying sorry first, even when the other person was wrong too. Sometimes, wisdom is quiet. Sometimes, it's brave. And just like Solomon, you don't have to be old to be wise. You just have to have a heart that listens, learns, and loves. So children, as you go about your day, whether at home, school, or play, remember Solomon's story. You may not sit on a throne or wear a crown, but the choices you make can still be royal, when they come from a heart filled with wisdom. So be kind. Be brave. And be wise. Because sometimes, the greatest power is choosing what's right. Now that our story is ending, let's take a moment to look back at what we've learned, and remember the people who taught us something special. Let's start with the young king himself. He wasn't the strongest king. He wasn't the tallest or the oldest. He was just a young man when he sat on the throne. The kingdom was big. The people were many. But Solomon didn't ask for power. He didn't ask for money. He didn't even ask for long life. He asked for something better. He asked for wisdom, a heart that could understand right from wrong. That one prayer changed everything. Solomon used wisdom to lead his people with fairness. When the two mothers came with only one baby, he didn't panic. He didn't guess. He listened, he watched, and then he spoke. And in the end, his decision was right, not because he was perfect, but because he let wisdom guide him. Next, let's talk about someone we didn't see with our eyes, but we saw him through every part of the story. He was the one Solomon prayed to. He was the one who answered. God didn't give Solomon just a little bit of wisdom. He gave him more than anyone before or after him. Why? Because God saw Solomon's heart. Solomon wasn't greedy. He wasn't proud. He was honest. And God loves to help hearts that are humble and ready to listen. Even now, God still gives wisdom to those who ask. He loves when we come to Him with our questions, our worries, and even our small choices. And now, the woman who showed us what real love looks like. The true mother. She didn't win by shouting the loudest. She didn't win with anger or blame. She won by letting go. When she saw her child was in danger, she didn't think of herself. She said, "Let the other woman have him, just don't hurt him." Her love was big. So big, she was willing to give up her son just to save his life. And that's what made Solomon know she was the real mother. Because real love doesn't take. Real love gives. So what are the lessons we can carry with us? Let's remember these 4 big ones. 1. Wisdom begins with asking God. Solomon didn't try to be wise all by himself. He went straight to God. That's something we can do too. Before we speak, before we act, we can pause and pray. God, help me know what to do. Even the smallest prayer makes a big difference when God hears it. 2. Real love is selfless. The true mother showed us that love isn't about getting your way. Love sometimes means putting others first. Love says, "I care about you more than I care about being right." That kind of love is powerful. It changes lives. 3. Truth always wins. At first, it seemed impossible to know which mother was telling the truth. There were no witnesses. No clues. But in the end, truth didn't stay hidden. God's wisdom brought it into the light. So even when people lie or when things seem unfair, remember, truth always rises. Truth is like the sun, it shines through the clouds. 4. God blesses good choices. Solomon chose to ask for wisdom. And God gave him everything else too. Honor, peace, and blessings. When we choose kindness over anger. When we choose to listen before speaking. When we say, "I'm sorry," or "I forgive you." These small choices matter. They open the door for God's blessings in our lives. Just like Solomon, you can ask God for a wise heart. You don't have to wait until you're grown up. You don't need a crown or a kingdom. Every day, you face little choices. At home, at school, with friends. Should I share or keep it to myself? Should I tell the truth or hide it? Should I help or walk away? These choices may seem small, but they shape the person you are becoming. And the good news? You're not alone. God is always ready to help you choose what's right. All you have to do is ask. And so, the boy king became the wisest of them all. Not because he knew everything. Not because he never made mistakes. But because he knew where to begin. With God. May we all be like Solomon. Not the richest. Not the strongest. But wise. Because we choose to begin with God. And now, let's end with a memory verse. You can say it with me if you like. Memory verse. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. James 1 verse 5. That's all for today, my amazing friends. But guess what? Our adventure isn't over. Stay tuned for our next exciting Bible story. You won't want to miss it. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you'll be the first to know when our new story drops. See you soon, lovely souls. Bye bye.